Today I'm going to show you how not to grow seeds like I'm growing, because you're going to grow too many and you're not going to know what to do with them. You're going to get a kick out of this. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and boy do I have a tip for you. A new way I'm growing seeds that I'm going against everything you're supposed to do, but you know what? I'm not trying to be different. I'm trying to make my life easier. And this has been phenomenal. This is why I'm starting so many seeds now. It doesn't matter if I want to start one seed. It doesn't matter if I want to start 50 seeds. It has made my life so easy. And I really think I've got to share this with you, because a lot of you are going to say, you cannot do this. What am I doing that you cannot do? I am growing all these plants in food containers with no holes. You heard me. Everything I've told you, I'm not going to tell you throw it out. You have to have drainage. But none of these have drainage. All the stuff I've been planting the past month, 2 months, no drainage. I'll explain in a minute why there's no drainage. This one, in the new fashion in which I'm growing, will not work. It's got holes. As soon as I water, I'm going to have water coming out. I don't want water coming out. So that will not work. But with this and all these, even a tin can, it has been wonderful. Ice cream containers, cups you've got around, or bowls, food containers, in a cookie container. Anything you want to grow in this fashion, you'll be able to grow in. Now let me tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. This one with holes that I used to grow in will not work. It won't work for me. Though I could do it this way, the same fashion. This has actually been really, really good. Again, all of these have no holes. And I can go through and I can water these all that I want. I just go through and water them. Now, I do put them outside. We had a little bit of rain the other day. And you would say, well, wait a minute, your plants cannot live in water. That is true. They can't live in water. They need to be damp, but they don't want to be waterlogged. This one is now waterlogged. Let me tell you first, before I get to it, what I do. I know a couple of you have called me the queen of Tulle. I love Tulle. I use Tulle for everything. What I do is I take the Tulle and I designate a container, and I make a piece of Tulle that will fit in the container. So now I've got Tulle in there. Then I put my soil in there. Sounds odd, but it works. And then I wet my soil. I water my soil. And then I plant my seeds. It's that easy. You want to cut the Tulle the size of your container and leave a hangover. And the reason you leave a hangover is if you do overwater, and I like overwatering the first 12 hours when I first plant the seeds, is look at this. Now this is good for multiple reasons. I can lift this. I'm going to give that water to there. I can lift this and drain it. That's one reason I like it. So now if it's overwater, I could just lift it out and I don't have to think about it. The other thing is, when I go to plant, I'm not turning anything over and knocking the dickens out of it to try to get it out. I'm literally lifting it out and putting it somewhere and taking the plants apart. And if I don't plant them all, I can still put them back in to the container and just plant the ones that I need. And here, I've got like 30 broccoli. You know who's getting the broccoli? Kitty. And I'm going to do the same thing when I'm ready. I'm going to take it out, just lift it out. All of them lift right out. Look at that. See? Isn't that beautiful? You're still going, wait a minute, why are you doing that? Okay, here's the reason I'm doing it. When I want to plant seeds, I usually have to think about, okay, I got to get the pot together. I've got to get the soil together. Now I've got to get something underneath the tray if I'm going to bring it in the house. Now, if you've got a greenhouse, this won't work for you because that's the perfect place. You've got the perfect setup. I don't have a greenhouse. So what I've got is my kitchen table. I can bring this in. I can put it all out during the day if I want. And I can bring this in and put it on the grand piano that I do not have. I don't have a piano. But what I'm saying is it's dry. All these containers are completely dry. I can bring these in and sit them on the fireplace mantle. I can sit them on the dining room table. I can sit them on top of my computer. I've done that too. And I can just bring them in, sit them where I want, and then put them out in the sunlight if I want to put them out in the sunlight, if I don't have a designated place. And there's no muscle memory of where am I going to put it? It's going to drip. There's water coming out. This has been fantastic. When I started this, I thought, well, it worked. And I started it with the tool, and I started Gary's, and it worked fantastic. See, this is lettuce. Look at all the lettuce growing in here. This is all lettuce. I just went around the deck and I collected some lettuce and I just threw it in here. Had the potting soil in there, and that's it. And it's kind of like when you're starting new seedlings, a lot of people take their pots with holes and they water something and put with holes inside so the water wicks up. Well, the reason they're doing that is because if you water it down, your seeds all move around. Well, I do it the other way. I'm actually setting this up first, watering it well, coming back later, and if it's too wet, I simply drain the water out, and then I plant my seeds. I know where all the seeds are, unless like the lettuce, I just crumbled it in, but I can designate the area and where the seeds are. I can put dividers in too if I wanted to separate them with little plastic dividers. You can cut this, I've done that too. But this whole thing will simply lift out. The other thing I have found that's been wonderful is I started some plants that I thought weren't growing. And I thought, gee, the seeds are good. When I lifted it out, I saw all the roots. And I knew immediately that the seeds just weren't ready to come out of the soil, but all the roots were there. So I felt, wow, good, my seeds are good. You only have cans, you can do the same thing. I dropped in a couple zinnia flower seeds in here. I'm going to get those out in the garden. So I hope I've given you some ideas on how well this has been working for me. And like I said, this container's dry. So if you wanted to start a couple seeds and stick them outside, you grab the container, stick it anywhere you want. Stick it anywhere, and then the next day bring it outside, put it in a sunny place, and then when you're ready, plant them out in your garden. But I love this method. I just love it. Here, I had this sitting on my kitchen sink. Now look at all the roots. And I dropped in a squash seed from just one of the squash I picked in the garden. But I've been dropping in all these pepper seeds, and the peppers are growing, and that's what I want. I actually want the pepper seeds. This I just did for fun. But there's, no disturbing the seeds when it comes to knocking them out and all that. And then you plant them when you think you're ready to plant them, or you can even start them this way and then get them in the pots you want and get them outside. So I can't even say anything bad about this. I absolutely love it. So with that, hope I've given you some ideas. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you're going to plant in. Are you going to plant in coffee cups? Old coffee cups. You know how many people get coffee cups and they don't know what to do with it because they end up with everybody buying best mom, best dad, favorite dog. You got all these coffee cups? Do it in a coffee cup. Put a little tool in there. Make sure you got a good overhang. And you can decorate and do all kinds of stuff. You can start cuttings in there. You can put house plants in there. You can keep this in the house with house plants. And if you overwater, just lift it up, pour the water out, and put it back. You don't have to worry about overwatering because with the tool, you can lift your whole plant out. So you can use this for house plants as well. And don't forget to label your plants that, broccoli, so you know what you're growing. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. I love this method. I'm going to go plant more right now. Cool. Now I will say, I have found it best to get some potting soil. Now you don't have to get seed starter. If you want to, you can. I'm not using seed starter. But I will tell you one thing. The best thing to do is when you designate, let's say a small bag you buy with, that's just the potting soil. When you're done with it, roll it down, put a clothespin on it, because I had some sitting somewhere, I had it open, and I really only use the potting soil mainly for starting seeds. Well, what happened was something got in there and picked a tomato, probably a rodent, and it found this bag that was wide open, thought, what a wonderful place to sit in. And he ate the tomato, and I didn't know. And when I went and planted some of my squash, that I know was clean soil, I had all these tomato plants coming up. And I looked and I realized, okay, so fix that real easy by just rolling it down, put a clothespin on it. That's it.